Welcome back. Our next guest is one of Ireland's most beloved broadcasters, and she's back on our screens with a brand new show.
The series Moving West shines a light on those who've decided to escape the rat race of urban life. Let's take a look.
In that?
I do. If you're going to live here, you might as well, embrace the water. So I surf. People surf through the winter. Wetsuits are so good these days. It's easy.
So these are the soft surfboards you'll be using today. Perfect for beginning surf lessons. That's the nose, that's the tail, and this is the deck. So we're gonna get you guys to hop on the boards.
Heaven. Strand Hill,
Strand
surfing
Hill.
heaven. You
Isn't
can
it
catch.
lovely?
It's an amazing part of the country, isn't it?
Yes, Cork is fantastic, isn't it? Cork
I
is
thought
wonderful.
you were up on your surfboard every weekend after you finish work.
There you are. Tell us about the new series then, because we're exploring the West as a whole.
Yes, it's about moving west, and
Right.
it's all about the Wild Atlantic Way. We started in Galway, then we went to Sligo, Mayo, Leitrim, and Clare and Kerry. So we did a good, cross-section. And it's a mixture of people who have come from abroad. The very first programme featured a woman from Hong Kong and a family from South Africa who had moved to Galway. Aoife Porter there that you saw is a county woman of yours, Elaine. She's from Cork. And she met her husband in college. They travelled the world. When they came back and decided they wanted to settle down, they didn't want to be in the city, so they went to Strand Hill. And they have 3 children, and it's all about surfing and hiking.
It's the outdoor life, yeah.
It's lovely, yeah, and they're very happy. She runs a company that she set up herself called Bua Marketing, and there's a digital hub. This is one of the things we noticed right around the country, that for people who are working in, say, the technology industry, there are digital hubs, and they are very effective, where you can rent your space, and hot desk, I suppose, is what they call it. And then there are other, like also in the Sligo programme, we featured a man who had come back from San Francisco and decided to set up a brewery called White Hag in Sligo. So
amazing.
That's the thing, if you are in the middle of the rat race, you're immersed in urban life, and then the freedom you get and the fresh air, and I know it sounds cliched, but having trees and wide open spaces, it kind of reinvigorates you. And why would anyone not want to do that as a life choice?
Well, it is a life choice, and therefore, there are people like, I absolutely love rural Ireland, and I love going to the west, I love going to the southwest, but my family is here in Dublin, so that is going to be my base. But any chance I get, I'm only back from the Dingle Peninsula, and I'm heading off to Kerry next weekend again. But that's okay.
Gallivanting all around the place, Mary.
But I think that the pandemic has made us more aware of the balance that's necessary. People have, because they were working from home and working successfully from home, saw what it was like to be around your house even, not just to be using your house as some place to get up and leave and some place to come back and go to bed. And with children.
Life.
Definitely.
It's changed the landscape, for good, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's made us all look inward and look at what we have immediately around us.
Well, you never get to the end of your life saying, I wish I spent less time with my family.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people now who have the opportunity and who can successfully blend the two, and I think that's a good option.
Yeah.
In next Thursday's programme, we have a couple. He's English, and they were married and living in Dublin, and she works in the bank. And the pandemic happened. He lost his job, so she had always gone on holidays to Mayo. So they said, well, let's go. And she could work remotely. She was still in the bank. And now he's opened a coffee shop in Lewisburg. And she's still working with the bank. She comes up twice a month, and the rest is done remotely. And they have a little girl, and the freedom is
They're living the dream.
perfect.
Yeah, but I think when you look at it, it all sounds very ideal, but there are practical considerations as well. The house prices beyond the pale are after going up, and the rural broadband plan, I mean, that's not exactly being rolled out significantly. But as you said, there are little hubs and places you can get your digital fix, as it were.
Yes, well, of course the house prices are going to go up, but nothing compared to what you're
Still
paying
nowhere
for
near,
a house in the city. But there is definitely, that's why the digital hubs are so successful, because the broadband is centred on them, and that is a requirement. It is absolutely vital. But the quality is lovely. It's interesting actually with the South African man, Stuart Forrest is his name, runs a really successful animation company in Cape Town. He's won a BAFTA, he's won an Emmy, and there's a good tradition, you know, there's a good tradition of animation in this country. So he wanted to be in a safer place for his children, quite frankly. And we asked him what were the things that attracted him, and he said landscape, safety, security of, you know, the job, and also community and friendliness.
Community.
Yeah.
Says it all, really.
And that was, they all said, when you decide to do this, you have to muck in, you have to get involved and be part of the community.
Because you can't isolate yourself out there, you're not part of it.
No. Well, no.
You want to immerse yourself in everything that's around you.
Yeah.
Something else that you wanted to chat to us about was something that's coming up soon, which is World Osteoporosis Day, and you're an ambassador for.
Yes.
Why is that important to you, Mary? Why are you behind it?
Well, because I would hate having been constrained for so long with lockdowns and things like that. Can you imagine the notion of being maybe stuck in a boot because you've gone over on your ankle or you've fallen and broken your wrist? And we are not good in this country with regard to bone health. The problem is that you don't know you have it until you have it, and then it's too late. We are not good. I think we're sixth on the scale of countries that have osteoporosis, you know, quite chronically. There are 300,000 Irish people hospitalised every year because of a hip fracture, and 69% of those are women. So the message is to women, particularly, I suppose, women of my age, I'm over 65, that you do have to have... We do it with everything else. We get our bloods checked, not in January, as I always say, because that's not a good time to get your bloods checked.
Why would that be now, Mary?
Too many mince pies.
You know, you go and you get your flu jab if you're a certain age, and why not add that to the list? Because it just makes such a difference. If you've got healthy bones, you are healthy, you are active. I would hate to be constrained again. So the message is, get the bone test.
Fabulous.
So easy.
Listen, it's been great catching up with you.
And then have a few chocolate chip
Exactly.
cookies. They were divine, weren't they?
That's
They are
lovely
gorgeous.
catching up with the
Oh my
most
God.
famous member of the Kennedy family. Won't even talk about Dermot because he doesn't even get a look in now.
Thanks, Mary. Good to see you.
you
can
both.
catch the next episode of Moving West this Thursday at 9 o'clock on TG Car.
And time for a quick break now. But when we come back, we've fashion just in 3.